So a letter just went out letting people know, and it will go out to larger and larger audiences, but all of you felt relevant first. Just letting people know that moving forward on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I will be maintaining silence and I will be unplugged. So I said to people, it's easy with the computer because I can put an away message up. But if you text me or you message me, because now everybody suddenly, people think the only way to get a hold of me is through WhatsApp. It's interesting. I will not see it because I need, this is a beginning for me, a regular time, a regular recurring time that felt long enough. And just given life circumstances, this was what I could do right now. It's 2 days of going inward, of longer meditations so that I can more clearly hear divine guidance. As I said in the letter, very hard or much more difficult to receive guidance on the run. And my life has really been on the run a lot. Busy, full, constant, early morning till late at night. And even though I am a pretty good meditator, regular and longish meditations, it's different than carving out a period of time. It means reading spiritual books through which inspiration flows. People who I know, like Gyan Dev is a perfect example. Or I read, when I was off this week, Tandava's little book called The Rubaiyat of the Bhagavad Gita. I never knew what Rubaiyat meant. I didn't even know what that title meant, but of course he explains it right away at the beginning of the book. And it's so brilliant. And I just read it. I didn't read every single stanza, but a lot of it, that it's just uplifting. It's like, wow, there's such guided genius in the world. Inspired. It's just inspired. You'll see when you read it. I just am falling more and more in love with his poetry. But that poetry particularly coupled with the wisdom in the Bhagavad Gita, that inspires me. So let me say that these first few weeks are about getting settled into it. I imagine I'll read less and eventually a long meditation that will lead to writing the first of a couple of books that if I'm meant to write, I'll write them. I keep thinking Master might have this divine plan that now that I'm finally taking time off, he'll decide it's time for me to leave my body. So we'll see. And I've been talking to him and saying, please give me a little bit of time, quiet time alone. But let's see what my karma is. So, yeah, it's just mostly about meditating and doing nothing but God-centered, obviously God-centered activity. So I don't have to be working at coming back to God. For me, that's what happens in seclusion. For me, that's why I love longer seclusions. Many of you know I've taken 3 weeks or a month several times, because the longer you're in seclusion, the less the world feels real and the more that feels real. So it's very personal, but honestly, seclusion could be the same for all of us, which means stepping onto that goal, that path that Kamala Devi was speaking to, and taking our next step. So it's personal to us in that way, but the path is the path. The goal is the goal. It's the same for every human being everywhere. It's just a question of where we are and where we are, because that dictates how quiet can we get. And also this, and I'll say this because it relates to this question about meditation and seva. For me, personal, I genuinely feel now, at last, that the deeper I go in meditation, the more absolutely with God I can be, away from everything Shanti, that I'm serving everybody. I feel that I wrote it in that letter, and I don't remember the words because that letter literally, I had a letter written from the seclusion in August, but I couldn't use it. Everything's changed the way it does moment by moment. But in that letter, I said something about, I genuinely feel that we can meet in that place of oneness in the divine that we're all wanting to move towards. And I do believe that if all of you took moments on Wednesday and Thursday, not because I'm a great saint, I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just your guru by making this effort and letting it be known to everybody. If on a Wednesday or a Thursday you joined me for minutes even, or whatever, that we would be together and however, it's not just deep, it's in to the very center of the Empyrean. Literally, that if we can meet there, everybody will benefit from this. And I was told that in that seclusion. I was shown that. This is not a selfish act. This is genuinely, because I have such deep connections with all of you. It's been so many years. I just feel like it's streams of light like that or something, and we're connected in that way. And I just know that what I'm doing in these days will serve our community. I know that. So.